bad timing for
It
the
was a
Stars,
tough call,
right when
yeah.
everyone was heading out.
Yeah, it was
very
a tough
tricky.
call for them. They did the best they could, there's no doubt. I got up this morning at 7 to take my daughters to school, and right as I woke up, I got the principal's note. And then I went back to bed. All right, let's go ahead and show you this. Ryan O'Connor was up on, well, pretty good little shot here in the Sandias, where he was up on the La Luz Trail. And this is a time lapse of the clouds coming in, you guys. And there's a lot of cloud cover across the area today. And we are looking at more fog on the way as well. Let's get to that. And it kind of reminds me of that time, Dino, when we were in that cooking class. Remember that?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, geez, you love Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Well, getting ripped by him was not cool.
Because I don't get yelled at enough at home, right? That's
No,
right.
exactly. And you can tell I took it well. But we do have a recipe for.
Look how cheery I am.
You look great.
Oh,
so
he does. I
happy.
like
What
your
is
pose.
this
I know.
pose, Dean? What are you trying
That's
to do
usually
here?
what he does.
Just
I
happy
mean,
he's not yelling at me for once.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. All right, here's a look, and while we're talking about a recipe for trouble here, we had the storm system that went through earlier today and really throughout the day yesterday as well. That left plenty of moisture along the surface here, whether it be rain or snow. It definitely left a wet surface across especially the western half of the state here. Well, throughout the night tonight, we're losing the heat out of the atmosphere, and as the temperatures drop, we talked about this before, cold air can't hold as much moisture as warm air. So what happens when you overwhelm the cold air with moisture? You form clouds. And what happens when those clouds form and it's below freezing and they're at the surface? You get freezing fog. And the result of that freezing fog can be a dangerous weather situation. And across the western portion of the state, could wake up to some of that freezing fog tomorrow morning. And obviously it's a concern because it can lead to those slick roads across the area, and surfaces like sidewalks can be tricky as well. So just be careful here. Now, once the fog clears late morning, you should be all set to go with no issues. But here's a look at where we have the freezing fog advisories across the northwest quadrant of the state and down across the southwest quadrant of the state. Also a possibility here in the metro area as well to see some patchy morning fog. And as we take a look down to Cloudcroft, they are seeing some snow and saw some snow earlier. Now things are relatively quiet there, but here's a good example of a place we could hang out with a little bit of fog later on into the morning hours tomorrow. But the elevated terrain usually helps to get rid of that issue. Storm system which caused all this is sliding south of the state and dissipating. Temperature right now in the metro, 31 degrees. Winds, not a huge factor. Temperatures across the north, 20s and 30s. Same deal across the south. Not much to concern ourselves with throughout the night tonight. High pressure going to build back in across the area here, so we'll see quieter and quieter weather on the way for tomorrow. And in fact, on Friday, going to be a pretty warm setup with a west to east flow here. That pushes the air down the mountains and really warms up the east side of the state. Be prepared for temperatures in the mid 60s there. And then into the weekend, we may skirt a little weather disturbance across the northeast, but it's not going to be a huge deal. However, we do have more promising weather on the way for storms. Now, in the near term, let's break this out in two different areas, one being temperature and the next one being precip. We're going to be warm through the rest of the week and into the weekend here. We start to get cooler by next week as that cold air starts to settle in across the state and set the stage for what could be a pretty stormy pattern, but not the rest of this week and not likely through the weekend. But what we're watching here is the middle of next week. Moisture pushes its way in. You combine that with the cold air, and we could be looking at a pretty stormy pattern in the form of winter storms starting Wednesday and lasting well into the following week here. So the next 4 or 5 days pretty quiet, and then it starts to ramp up late January into early February. Let's go region by region. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures in 30s and 40s across southern Colorado, and we're looking pretty good on Friday and Saturday as well. Across the northwest, that freezing fog should be an issue early and then clearing skies throughout the day. Southwest, morning freezing fog as well, but then a sunny afternoon, 54 in TRC, 48 in Socorro. Over to the southeast, sunshine and warmer conditions here, 51 in Roswell, 50 in Lovington, but 60 in Friday, and then 65 on Saturday, so staying warm. 50 Springer, 51 Roy, and out around Santa Rosa, 53 degrees. Notice what's going on at the very bottom of your 7-day forecast in Santa Fe. Snow starts to build back in by midweek next week, but until we get there, cool mornings followed by mild afternoons. 43 in Edgewood, 47 in Tejares. Wednesday's the day to watch next week as well there. And patchy fog, then sunny skies here in the metro area, 40s and 50s for your highs. Extended forecast looks good through Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. Then we'll watch very closely midweek next week. Temperatures dive, precip increases, and much more on Twitter at KRQE Mark.
Interesting to see what the next one brings.
You bet.
All right, Mark, thank you.